It's United versus Chelsea. Can the Reds salvage a bit of pride and get the fans back on board? Because let's face it, we've all had enough. Let's have the preview. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's get to 700,000 subscribers by the end of the season. With your help, we can get it. Let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This, unfortunately, is a Chelsea preview.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
I say unfortunately, not because I'm joined by Joe Smith, good to see you, and Gaz Drinkwater, because it means Manchester United are playing a game of football again.
Yeah.
And I prefer it when we don't.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, well, no, I do know, you've seen us. We're not very good anymore.
The most exciting news as a Man United fan for the last 6 months has been who's going to be the new manager at the end of the season. And we haven't really done anything to convince me that games are more important than that. Because it's all just preamble to a decision that we've now seen, and then now it's just preamble to the transfers, preamble to the start of the next season. Can he get the tactics going? Can he build? But the games themselves, as much as I hate to say this, are shit. Because we lose every week. We've won, one of our last 9, as Stephen Howson likes to say.
Steve's been saying that for about 6 months until it became true.
And it's basically just who can be worse. Like every single time we play, it's, this time it was, I want Maguire bad. Well, he didn't play. Yeah, and we still conceded loads of goals against a shit team. It's just, everyone's just doing their best to be bad. Dallow's crap, so you bring Wan-Bissaka in, he's even worse. Shaw can't play because he's having metal removed. So then you put, it's just an absolute mess at the minute, isn't it? And the only thing that's exciting is the new manager stuff.
The only thing that's exciting for me, I honestly don't even feel like watching the game. I just feel like watching the post-match comments from Ralph Rangnick and even people like Scott McTominay now.
It's a good point.
It's
a nice little
That's
segue
exciting.
there, because I wanted to ask you about that, Gaz. Scott McTominay, after the derby, everyone was loving his performance in the interview, where he came out and he was very honest. After the Arsenal game, very, again, brutally honest, you would say, talking about looking in the mirror and all that stuff. That's all well and good, but, is he doing enough, just him personally, as a footballer? Do you feel?
I really think it's common sense about a few of these players, especially players like Scott McTominay, who I don't think one criticism you can put at him is that he's not trying enough. Okay. That's been put at a lot of players, not Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay, quite simply, is a very good squad player. He's the sort of player that you have in around your team, and in certain games he's going to come in maybe for a tactical decision, maybe to fill in for someone who's injured. If you're a team that's challenging at the top, I think he would have a role to play in other squads as well. The problem is at Man United, we've been relying on him. This McFred thing has been relied on for far too long now. Scott McTominay is not good enough, from what I've seen so far, to start every game for Man United. But I'm not going to knock him, because at least he's putting the effort in. And that is pathetic that we're here as Man United fans, and we're genuinely like, you tried. Well done, mate. You tried. You can stay. But that's genuinely where I'm at now. 3/4 of the team, I think, are tossers.
Right, okay.
and I think Ralph Rangnick thinks the same.
No, well, listen, it's hard to argue with especially with the Ralph Rangnick point, because he's more or less said that, hasn't he, Joe?
Yeah.
The team, they're just, there's these leaks, and we know where, some of the leaks are basically, from him, I think, saying that he's just amazed at the lack of the right attitude in players, the effort's just not there, they're not listening to instructions. There was this story doing the rounds the other day that he's giving them specific instructions and, patterns of play and stuff, and they're just ignoring them. My question, I suppose, would be, can the players sort of salvage anything with the fans this season, do you feel? Do you feel like a maybe performance against Chelsea at Old Trafford could just get a few more fans behind this team? Because we were behind it, and then they've just sort of eroded all that love with a series of inept displays and also rumours of bad attitude.
I think if they win every game between now and the end of the season, there will be some goodwill towards them. We're not going to finish top 4 even if we do that, I don't think. But there will be some feeling of, well, at least we ended on a bit of a high. Maybe not a high, but an upward trajectory, if nothing else. But I just think they're almost lucky that we're getting a new manager at the end of the season, and that some of them will be replaced, and that we are hopefully going to be building towards something different after this, because they need the attention taken off them. Because the more you look at them, the more you start to hate them. Like, not personally, I'm sure they're all good people, but as footballers, they went from seeming like the most likeable group we've had since Ferguson retired under Solskjaer. They seem like, the likes of Shaw and Maguire and Rashford and Wan-Bissaka and McTominay and these people who are performing pretty well most weeks, to now just being, half-arsing it, but basically phoning it in for the whole season. And the more you look at them, the more you just think, fuck off. And then, so, I think they're almost lucky that we're getting a new manager. There will be a wave of excitement at the end of the season. There will be, new transfers coming in, players leaving. But I think, really, I think the damage is done now in terms of the reputation of a lot of these players, and they're going to have to do a lot more than win against Chelsea or a few games before the end of the season to bring that back. They need to prove it over, a medium to long term, not just we had a good game, didn't we? Love us again, because it's the damage is done.
It's hard to argue with any of that. With that all being said, Gaz, you've gone, instead of predicted 11s, you've done something a little bit different. You've done a preferred 11.
I'm sick of it now.
You're so fed up with them, right? You can't even bother just saying who's he going to pick. You've done who you want to see him pick. And it's quite an interesting selection you've gone for. If we can bring it up on the screen, Gaz's team, please.
I've been back on this
because I won't be able to guess it, by the way.
For like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I've already given up. I already can't be arsed. So my team, I've literally just gone for pie in the sky. I want to see players who want to play for Manchester United play for Manchester United. So Brandon Williams is coming back.
Got a Norwich player.
You've recalled him from his spell at Norwich.
Brandon
Williams,
he's back in. Bring him back, absolutely fine. Yeah, he'll play right back. I know he's a left back, but sod it, stick him on the right.
He'll do a job. He's right-footed.
He's right. Yeah, he's a right-footed left back. Grow up. David De Gea in goal. Varane and Lindelof as the back two. Varane because I know he made that horrific mistake, but I don't know. I feel like Varane's one that I would keep on for next season. I'm not wanting Chuts out the door. He's having a few injury problems.
Fair enough.
Lindelof hasn't done too much wrong this season. Fernandes at left back.
Not Bruno Fernandes, obviously. The youngster Fernandes.
Yeah, I'm hearing so much about him.
Okay.
I've never watched him really play a full 90
I haven't seen much of him, but I can guarantee he's better than Tellez.
He's not. He's definitely not better than Tellez. Like, on a serious note, he's definitely not better than Tellez. He's definitely not better than any other. I know Shaw's injured, but he's definitely not better than Shaw. But I think he'll give more to the game.
All right,
and I think he'll want it more than anyone. So that's why I want to see him play. Hannibal, McTominay, as I said before, 2 players who want to play for Man United, and that is the bare minimum at the minute.
Okay.
My 3 playing behind the striker, I've put Alanga on the left.
Yeah.
I've put Sancho in the middle because I feel like Bruno just needs a bit of a break. I'm not
the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
I'm not being too harsh on Bruno Fernandes though. I'm not dropping him. I am a little bit.
Well, you are. You literally
speaking, you are dropping
him. That is the definition of dropping someone.
But it's not like
I'm not dropping him. I'm just taking him out of the team.
Yeah, due to his bad performances.
It's not like getting him out of the team. I never want to see you in a red shirt again, like I do with most of the fuckers who aren't playing in my team. It's give him a break. He'll be fine next season when he's coached properly. I've gone for Garnacho on the right.
Garnacho. He's been tearing it up for the academy.
I want to see this guy play. Called up for international. I mean, the guy's trained with Messi and Ronaldo. Come on. Let's see him play. I want to see what he's got. Ronaldo.
And he triggered Aguero as well, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And obviously, Cristiano up top. I just feel like I've picked 11 players that actually want to play for Manchester United.
In terms of wanting to play, I wouldn't argue with any of that. I think that they've all shown effort and desire. I just think for some of them, ability's been lacking this season, certainly in terms of consistency.
Yeah.
Joe, have you gone predicted, I believe?
Mine's more predicted,
Okay, let's have a look at. Can we have Joe's?
So you've not picked a Norwich player?
I haven't picked a Norwich player in my team. I've gone with De Gea, who certainly doesn't play for Norwich.
Rumours. Do you know what made me laugh about that? Sorry to interrupt.
No, right.
Someone tweeted last night, I quoted it. It was saying like about Brandon Williams had made a statement about wanting to get back in United team and someone said, the state of our club. Imagine getting relegated and thinking you could play for Manchester United.
Ridiculous.
Yes, because we've never had a relegated player who we've signed who's come on to Manchester United and been arguably the greatest midfielder ever.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who that is, have a Google. Sorry, go on, sir.
Troy Deeney is the person you're thinking of. Roy Keane. Wan-Bissaka, I'll tell you why. Tellez cannot play in this game.
Right.
He just can't. He's had 2, disgustingly stinking games.
A Matteo Darmian performance, hasn't he?
2 of them in a row.
Yeah.
He was awful in the game before that as well. He was awful against Norwich. He was awful in that game. So he can't play. So how do we work this around him not playing?
I'm glad you said 2 games there, because he wasn't that bad against Spurs, for example.
Yeah.
I know that was a little while ago. He has had some decent games for us, but he's fallen off a cliff.
No, so I'm going to bring Wan-Bissaka in, who's been awful this season. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes back in at right back. Then I've gone Varane and Lindelof. Varane had a stinker the other day. Lindelof, is very much sort of I think
Lindelof is a sort of consistent 6 out of 10.
I do. I think Lindelof's quality has been overblown by the fact that Maguire has been disgracefully bad. And that Varane isn't a footballer because he's never fit. And I think we have therefore gone, Lindelof's great, he's not. Phil Foden ripped him a new arsehole against Man City about 4 times. And that's Victor Lindelof. And he's a good player and I like him, but he's not that great.
He's
mid-table,
isn't it?
Yeah. He would be the best. He'd be the best centre back at
Villa,
Southampton.
Southampton,
Yeah,
right, fair enough.
But he's playing because he's better than Maguire this season and he's fit. And then Dalot at left back, who's also been poor, but he's been slightly better than Tellez and he can play at left back, so he's playing left back.
I genuinely want this to be the team talk that Ralph gives when he announces the team.
You're slightly less shit than him. You're slightly less shit than him.
He's been disgracefully bad. Yeah. You've just been bad.
Yeah, exactly. Then again, for the same reason, McTominay, because even if he's bad on the pitch, at least he can speak. Which half of them, not only are they shit on the pitch, they then come out and say, "This hurts much as it hurts me."
Can you tweet something like?
Yeah, exactly. At least McTominay speaks with a bit of honesty and personality, so he can play, and that is the only reason he's playing.
It annoys me this though, because I like Scott McTominay,
but
I'm not all right with just this dropping a 1 out of 10 and then giving a good post-match interview.
Yeah, but it's better than dropping a 1 out of 10 and not giving a good post-match interview.
Okay. Which seems to have rewritten
which is how he's better.
Like, everyone loves him again.
Yeah, that's how he's staying above the rest of them. I brought Fred back in. Don't even know if he's fit, but he has to play.
Wheel him out.
If he was, I'd have him. Though.
Play him. Yeah. Just play him anyway, even if
Fred
he's not
gets
fit.
a pass, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bruno Fernandes, again, I think he's still one of our best performers this season, even though he's way off his best. I would play him. And then Sancho, again, been slightly lukewarm since about the end of March.
He's been okay, hasn't he?
Yeah, but again, he's not been awful, and I think he's got a lot more to show, so I'll bring him in. And Marcus Rashford again, I just think Elanga needs a break.
He does need a break. We're running in him to the ground, and he's I know Rashford's done out for ages, but Langa's done nothing for like last 10 games.
Yeah, exactly. So why put
a
young kid through that pressure?
It's not nice, is it?
And then Cristiano Ronaldo, who, if he gets 2 more goals this season in the Premier League, will be having his second most productive Premier League season for Manchester United ever. How mad's that?
So this would be better than his 2009 season?
No. Yeah, well, he got 18 in that, so he got 31 in the 2008
season. I know the 2008 season.
Yeah, he's not getting anywhere near that. But his second best was 18 in the league, which was the 2009 season.
That is ridiculous.
And he's on 16 this season. So, he's close to his peak.
I feel like, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, Cristiano.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, we shouldn't. I hope he's there next year.
I do.
And I hope a League Cup. Come on.
This is
that's what
Ronaldo.
I used to laugh at my mate at school. He's a City fan, and he used to say to me, "I just love us just to win the League Cup." Pathetic.
You know what? Can I just say?
I'd love us to win the Audi Cup in pre-season. I'd take that.
Joe, I like that you're coming out with stats like that about Ronaldo. You're coming out with reasons to be positive.
Yeah.
Now, in the last week, was it the day after the Liverpool game that we were both on the radio together on the breakfast show?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were asked by Radio Manchester to go on the show. Now, obviously, Joe's asked as a Man United fan on Stretford Paddock, he can give his opinions. I'm sort of asked as a Man United fan, but I'm also asked to promote my show, which is on later on in the day, Talking Balls. And I went on, and I was well moody.
Yeah.
I was horrible.
Yeah,
I was so
he said
moody.
he hates everything. I don't even care about the new manager. Throw it all in the bin.
Yeah.
Set it on fire.
Yeah, well, Joe was dead positive and all that. They genuinely had a word with me. They were, no, not in a bad way. They were just like, try and be a bit less moody next time, guys, if you can.
What you meant to say after that?
I know. I decided to be positive. But, there's my team. What about yours, Jay?
When was that after? Sorry.
Is that the Liverpool game?
Match. That's like I did it after the Liverpool game at Old Trafford where they rang me and said, "Can you come on?" I told you, didn't I? They rang me and said, "Can you come on?" I just walked out of Old Trafford. I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And they were like, "Oh, come on, just come on for a minute." So they put me through. I was waiting for ages. Then they put me on. And the presenter, first thing he said to me was like, "Oh, thanks for ringing in." And I was that angry and annoyed. I went, "I didn't ring you. You rang me."
Proper moody bastard. I didn't ring you. I don't need you.
Yeah,
you need me.
And then I was like,
this is me doing you a favour.
I thought, I don't want to be like that guy that's rang in a radio station just after we've lost 5-0 to the Scousers. But then I felt bad because obviously it wasn't her fault. And I was like, I'm not having a dig at you. I'm just fuming. But yeah.
Love that. What's your team?
My team, we can bring it up because my memory's shocking. I've already forgotten it. It's got David De Gea in goal. Enough said there. I've stuck with Tellez because I just don't think there's any other options. I agree. I know this sounds contradictory because I agree with everything you said. I just think we're at the point now where we're having to play bad players because we haven't got enough good ones. So I've gone with Tellez. I've gone with Maguire. I think he'll come back into the team. Mine is predicted, by the way, not preferred. Rafael Varane, I think if he's fit, keeps his place. Wan-Bissaka, you mentioned it, and I agree with you. He hasn't been great, but neither was Dalot. So, needs must.
And also, he played Wan-Bissaka against City, doesn't he? So occasionally he goes for a more defensive option.
McTominay and Matic, Fred's still injured. I was tempted to go down your route, guys, and recall James Garner from Forest and just say stick him in. But I just,
when I texted my team earlier, I did put Garner.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Recall Paul Scholes from retirement.
Yeah. I think McTominay, I don't think he's playing particularly well recently, but I mean, at a bare minimum, he looks like he gives a toss. Matic just passed it in here. Nothing more than to be said there. Bruno Fernandes, I personally think he'll stick with him because of especially what happened at Arsenal, and also you're not dropping Bruno, especially not against Chelsea. I've gone with Juan Mata. He's been getting cameos. I have a sneaky feeling he might just go, this is one of your last games. It's against your old club. You've shown me glimpses. Go on, I'll give you a start.
Juan Mata starting on the wing in 2022.
I hear you. But I've got a 19-year-old who's got no goals in, I think, is it 11 games or 1 goal in 11 games. Yeah. I've got a 24-year-old Marcus Rashford who's got no goals in 12 games or whatever it is, and no assists as well. Or I've got a 35-year-old or whatever he is, Juan Mata, who's probably got no goals in about 2 seasons. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So my cup runneth over with amazing choices. Jadon Sancho just about gets in ahead of Elanga and Rashford because of the things I already mentioned. He has shown signs. He is at least looking to make things happen when he gets on the ball. And I thought he had a half-decent sort of 40 minutes against Arsenal. So he's in. Ronnie, if it wasn't for him, I'll be honest with you, if he wasn't even in the squad, I probably wouldn't even go.
If it weren't for him, we'd be Everton.
Yeah, he's just, you can argue about whether we should have got Ronaldo and all this other stuff, but for me, Ronaldo is the one shining light we've got.
You know what? No. Ronaldo being there this season has been massively positive. I know people will look at the table and stuff like that and say, oh, this season hasn't gone. But for pure moments of joy, of happiness, Cristiano Ronaldo coming back and doing what he's done has been amazing for me.
I'd take him over, just not got to say.
Yeah,
I know that sounds bitter and too Bob, but it's true. He probably could have gone to City and had a cameo and won a Champions League with him. Seeing him lift that with them, that'd be horrible. Right. Do you know what I mean? So it is. That
he
is
sacrificed the season of United being shit for him not to win a Champions League with City.
Oh yeah. Because he'll take away everything he's done in the past with us. I think.
I'm bitter, mate.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just clarifying.
100%. And if we can go back in time and do it all over again.
Good lad.
In terms of opposition, it's not a great moment for either team, is it? But Chelsea obviously have a bit more to be positive about than we do. Just a little bit more. Maybe.
You can't pay 30 quid for a bus fare.
They'll be all right. They've already got about 5 bids for over 3 billion quid or something, haven't they? Lewis Hamilton and Serena Williams, I'm getting involved.
But he
is an Arsenal fan. But his granddad was a Chelsea fan, so that's enough. But then again, he's an Arsenal fan, but no other club's owners in the Premier League are the fan of the club they own.
That's not true. Sheikh Mansour had pictures of David Brightwell on his wall.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right. With all that being said,
he had a Paul Dickoff little bobblehead on his mantelpiece.
Go back far enough to picture of Sheikh Mansour with tits out Jackie.
Yeah.
Right, go on. Give us your prediction.
Score prediction, 4-0 United.
Right.
Dan James to score the last one on his debut.
Put that money in the bank.
Because if nothing else, I'm watching the start of last season all over again. I'm just going to watch that game instead of watching this one.
Martial, Rashford, Dan James, Pereira getting an assist. What, you know what I mean?
Can't be arsed.
It was all happening.
Bliss.
Go on.
Say
0-0 is the most ambitious thing I can go for, but genuinely, if you're asking me, I think it'll be 3-0 Chelsea. Okay. I'm sorry, I hate that. You know, this is not.
You've been recalling players from Norwich to try and save.
I know,
team.
but I feel
I get it.
I need to explain myself.
You've been bringing back players from the worst team in the country.
Yeah.
To help us be better.
Yeah.
That's how little you think of this Man United team. Yeah. Hey, what we need some.
And you've also
we need some players that just got relegated.
You're starting, son. What, barely playing for the academy. Don't
all right, no, you're right. Sorry, you're right. 3-1 Chelsea. Garnacho scores.
Come on. Go on, Jay. What you got?
I hate to be that guy.
Don't do it then.
All right, then. I'll tell you what. Do you know what? We're going to 4-0. We are. Yeah.
Come on.
We're going to do this, right? The rubbish, right? Abramovich is in decline. Yeah. Who else have they got? Jorginho took a worse penalty than Bruno Fernandes.
Can we not just sign a load of Ukrainian players?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So don't worry about it. The revolution starts here, and by the end of the season, Ralph Rangnick will be made permanent manager based on this performance.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's contract ripped up before our eyes. Rangnick in. Solskjaer as his assistant. Yeah.
Moyes as head of development.
United are back.
Mourinho as chief exec.
Welcome to the Mick Phelan Stadium. This is Manchester United. Fucking yes, lads.
Get involved in the comments and let us know if you agree with any of us, which if you do, I'd have a little word with yourself. Yeah, to be honest with you. Joe, where can people find you?
Joe Smith 93 and the Sloppy Joe's podcast on YouTube.
It's back.
Check out, search Sloppy Joe's podcast. You'll find it with me and Joe McGrath. Excellent new podcast.
Yeah. Gaz, you mentioned it earlier. Tell us a little bit about your radio show and how people can get involved.
It's weekdays, BBC Radio Manchester. It's on at 6 p.m. It's called Talking Ball. Sometimes there are these guys on there as well.
You don't have to. I know I always say this, but some people go.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you don't have to be from Manchester, do you?
No, of course not.
You can be from anywhere.
Callers from all over the show on our show, and also if it's one of them where you feel a bit like nervous calling up a radio station out the blue, feel free to drop me a DM on Twitter beforehand, and I'll get in touch with you. So radio_Gaz. If you want to have your views on United, it's a good place to do it.
And we need more Reds on there, man. Yeah. All these Blues have suddenly started phoning in and getting all buzzing and we're in the Champions League semis and we're going to win another title and all that rubbish. So get involved in Gaz's show and help us out. This has been the Chelsea preview. Thanks to Gaz. Thanks to Joe. Thanks for watching.